Call me paranoid or schizo. I don't care. But every time I rent an Airbnb, I always check the door with a New York State. You just never know. And it's method flawless for real. Every time I wake up in the morning at an Airbnb, the first thing I do is always make some pancakes. And then I always get that little one in there. And I always gotta flip it too. 'Cause it just drives me crazy just sitting there. I don't want it to get burned, so I just flip it. I might eat it too. It be crunchy. Every time I rent an Airbnb, I always make sure they got a garden, just so I can go dig in the dirt. And this method flawless for real. I always check the light switches right after. Call me paranoid or schizo. I don't care. But every time I rent an Airbnb, I always check the showers in the bathroom. I just pour some coffee in there and keep my socks on. You just never know. And it's method flawless for real. First thing I do when I rent an Airbnb is always pour me a bowl of Frosted Flakes. And I make sure to get it all the way to the top. And I'm gonna pour it all right into this bag. Just like this. Now I'm gonna secure it. And put it in place. There it is. Wow. Then I'm gonna give it some dots as reference points. You just never know. Shh, be quiet. I'm gonna show y'all how to check the Airbnbs, but it gotta be quiet. Shh, don't say nothing. I always see weird stuff when I'm traveling to an Airbnb. And this time I happened to see a sad poor little dirt. I think he had a tumor hanging or something. I hope he's okay. You just never know. So basically the first thing I do when I rent an Airbnb, I always get me some coconut oil and a rat tail comb. And I just make a few dots just like this. Pow, pow, pow. One in the middle. And give it a swirly. Just like that. Then we gonna put it in place and make the dots as reference points. You just never know. And this method flawless for real.
Yeah, police are certainly cracking down. Neighbors who live here are fed up with the noise. They're tired of hearing this.
People always calling me paranoid and schizo. But I don't care. I'ma always check the Airbnbs using my flawless methods. And I'ma show y'all exactly how to do this method right here. All you gotta do is just watch and wait till the end. So basically all you gonna need to do is just go to your local grocery store. And you wanna pick up 4 large eggs and you wanna scramble them with some butter. And you wanna get you a little baby turkey baster. And you wanna make sure you fill it up to the 7. That's perfect. That's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it and I'm going to put it in place. Just like this. But you got to be careful to make sure that you set it up there right, because you don't want it to fall. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my magic magnetic marker. Then I'm going to make my dots as the reference points. Because you just never know. And this method flawless for real. I mean, just look at it. Wow. So basically, the first thing I do when I rent an Airbnb, I always go to the nearest grocery store and I pick up me some tortillas. Then I go ahead and make me some fajitas. I just went on ahead and took me a chicken and I boiled it in the water a little bit so it can get all juicy and tender. And then I went on ahead and put it in the pan with some bell peppers and some onions. And I put that little taco seasoning in there, and I went on ahead and sauteed it all together in here. You want to be sure that you stir it all up and mix it up real good so you can get the flavors. So for this method, for real, all you gotta do is just get you a little bit just like this. And you want to set it right in the middle. Just like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then you want to go ahead and get you a little bit more and put it right at the back. Because you want it to be thick and full. Just like this. Then you want to get a bell pepper and put it in the back. Because you want a bell pepper with every piece. You want to set one in the front too. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then we gonna go ahead and get us a little cutie and a butcher knife. And we gonna go ahead and slice it right down the center. Just like this. That's perfect. Then we gonna go ahead and set it in place. Just like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my magic magnetic marker and make my dots as the reference points. Because you just never know. And this method flawless for real. I mean, just look at it. Wow. I don't think nobody can get past this. People always calling me paranoid and schizo just because I like to check the vents at the BnB's. Well, I don't care. I'ma always check the vents at the BnB's using my flawless methods. And I'm going to show y'all exactly how to make this one. All you going to need is a little bit of this salmon right here. You got to make sure it's the wild caught. And I went on ahead and froze it in there for a little bit. And it's the one with the lemon butter and herb. So all you going to do is go ahead and get your scissors. And then you want to go ahead and cut off the sides just like this. That's perfect. You want to make sure you cut off everything. It's kind of sharp, so you got to make sure you be careful. Because you don't want to get yourself stabbed or poked by that plastic. That wouldn't feel too good. And then you want to go ahead and open it up a little bit just like this. You see? You got the cooking instructions on the bottom. That's how you know where the skin is. You can go ahead and slice it open just like that. And now that you got it open, you can really see the whole fillet. You got the skin up with the lemon butter herb on it. Just like this. And you want to lay it down just like that on your plate. And then you go ahead and get you a little bit of water from your water bottle. You want to pour it right on her. Just like this. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then you want to go ahead and make sure you get your mashed potato meat beater. And you want to go ahead and mash it just like this. I always make sure to go ahead and give it a little twist too. Just so that all of it can get up in there. Just like this. That's perfect. You want to make sure you get all of it up in there. As much as you can, preferably. And then you want to go ahead and grab your butter knife. Right from the sink. You want to scrape off all of that garlic butter herb. As much as you can. And you want to set it right on top of the lid of the water bottle and let it fall in there. You want to get it all in there just like this. That's perfect. And then you want to get your lid and put it on. And give it a nice good shake. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and squeeze and put it in place. Just like this. Wow. Look at that. This method flawless for real. I mean, just look at it. I don't think nobody can get past this. Wow. People always calling me paranoid and schizo. But I don't care. I'ma always check the BnB's using my flawless methods. And I'ma teach y'all how to do this. So all you gonna need for you is just some 80% ground beef. And then you wanna go ahead and get you some garlic salt. And sprinkle it right on top. Just like this. And then I go ahead and get my spatula and I give it a nice little flipping. Just like that. But you gotta be careful not to cook it too long on one side, or it's gonna get burnt. Then you go ahead and get your condiments and get your ketchup and mustard. And you wanna spread it around all evenly. Just like that. Now it's safe to go ahead and put your burger on. It's all steamy and hot. It ain't no better time to put it on than now. Just like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. Then you go ahead and get your wheat bread and you want to set it down just like this. And you go ahead and get your butcher knife and you go ahead and cut off the crust on all the edges. Just like that. You want to make sure to cut off all the edges. You want to get all four corners. Just like this. That's flawless. That's flawless. Then you go ahead and take those and scoot them over so you can cut this other one. You want to make sure you get it even too, just like this. That's perfect. You want to go ahead and cut off this one. Just like that. 2 more to go. That's perfect. Last one. All right. Now we got all those cut off. Now you want to go ahead and take all your little pieces and go ahead and put them all together in a bunch just like this. Then you want to go ahead and take your water bottle and put it in place and set your strips right on in there. Just like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. You want to be sure you get them all in there. But you don't want to stuff it. You just want it just right. Just like this. That's perfect, for real. And we got one more to go, and we're going to get that last one in there. And you want to go ahead and get your lid and put it on. But you got to be careful not to put it on too tight. You want it just right. Just like this. Now it's time to put it in place. You want to put it up there and give it a good squeeze. Just like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. And this method flawless for real. I don't think nobody can get past this. Wow. Look at that. That's perfect. So basically the first thing I do when I rent an Airbnb, I always go in the bathroom and check it first. All you gotta do is just bring you a little cup of water just like this. And then you just want to pour a little bit on the ground. Just like that. And then next, all you want to do is just go ahead and kick off your flip-flops. And then you want to roll your pants up just a little bit. Just like that. And then you want to go ahead and step all in the puddle. Just like this. And y'all got the nerve to call me paranoid and schizo. Well, I don't care. I'ma always check the bathrooms at the Airbnbs using my flawless methods. 'Cause you just never know. I mean, just look at it. Wow. I just love the way the water feel when it soak up in the socks. I don't think nobody can get past this. I mean, what person in regular motion would even think about something like that? That's what makes it so flawless. I would never rent an Airbnb without doing this method.
Shaking mirrors at the Airbnb, at the Airbnb, at the Airbnb. Got my magic marker with me, 'cause
I always get made fun of when I come online. People always calling me names like paranoid and schizo, just because I like to check the toasters at the Airbnbs with tortilla chips. But you just never know. And this method flawless.
Yeah, police are certainly cracking down. Neighbors who live here are fed up with the noise. They're tired of hearing this.
Every time I rent an Airbnb, I always check the door with blue cheese dip. And these dots are references. No one can break in or break out without me knowing. First thing I like to do when I rent an Airbnb is always go to the nearest grocery store and pick up some pancake mix. Just so that I can check the doors at the Airbnbs. I always use pancakes and bacon. But it gotta be turkey bacon to be exact. And then I just add my dots as reference points. 'Cause you just never know. And this method flawless for real. I mean, just look at it. Wow. Look at that. People always calling me paranoid and schizo. But I don't care. I'ma always check the light switches in the bathroom. And I always use these nuts. It's the best candy bar by Mr. Beast. You just never know. And then I just go ahead and grab my magic magnetic marker and make my dots as the reference points. Then I just put it right under the Z just like this. That's perfect. That's perfect. And people always want to call me paranoid. Sometimes I just go ahead and do it a different way. If it's more advanced, I just go ahead and take it out the wrapper just like this. I just see if it can fit and it's perfect. Then I just go ahead and take it out the wrapper just like this. And you can see that it's already melting. That's because it was in my hand all hot. Then I'm going to just go ahead and take it and set it and put it in place just like that. Right on top of the light switch. You got to go right in the center of the V and the O. And the D is already lined up. So now you just got to line up the other last letters. Just like this. That's perfect. Wow. You just never know. I'll never let a friend book my Airbnb again. Look what they got us eating for dinner. I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's bison. Or maybe it's a deer. You just never know. I'm not even hungry no more, to be honest. I think I'll just eat me a peanut butter and jelly. Wow. Every time I rent an Airbnb, I always see some weird stuff. And this time I seen some lady just sitting down there stabbing up somebody's car. Wow. Wonder what he did. Wonder was it her ex-boyfriend? What he do to her? You just never know. I'm always bored when I rent an Airbnb. So I decided to go for a little walk in the woods. And people want to call me paranoid and schizo. Well, look at this big old spider. Wow. You just never know. Every time I travel to an Airbnb, I always see some weird stuff. And this time I seen a worker that was inconsiderate of people's time. I understand he wanted to practice safe squats and safe bending. But what if that man had something to do? What if he wanted to go to jujitsu class? What if he wanted to go check his Airbnb? You just never know. I don't have the patience. I would have cursed him out. People always call me paranoid and schizo just because I always check the doors at Airbnb's with them sweet tart candy canes. Wow. Every time I travel to an Airbnb, I always see some weird stuff. And this time I seen some Skittles and M&M's making a baby. Wow, you just never know. People always calling me paranoid and schizo, but I don't care. I'ma always check the Airbnbs using my flawless method, 'cause you just never know. In this method, all I did was bake me some chicken, and then I fried it for a little bit. So all you wanna do for real is get you a sharp knife and a fork, and then you wanna slice it down the middle just like this. You want to check in and make sure that it's done all the way. You want to look right in the center. You want to look for anything that look raw. Because if it's raw, you can't use it. And this one look good so far. I mean, look at it. And if it fall like that, it's okay to just stab it and pick it back up. Because God made germs, so germs don't hurt. You can get the 5-second rule. And this one look good, so I'm going to just set it right here. And let's look at this other one and just check it just to make sure. 'Cause you just never know. And it look good. Well, I'm going to just take it and put it in place at the door just like this. You got to make sure you find the best way to stand it up. And just like that. And then I'm going to just grab my magic magnetic marker. Then I'm going to add my dots as reference points. 'Cause you just never know. And this method flawless for real. I mean, just look at it. Wow. I don't think nobody can get past this. I always see weird stuff when I travel to an Airbnb. Look at this frozen rat. Wow. I always see weird stuff when I travel to the Airbnb. This time I seen the 18-wheeler drifting. Wow. Every time I travel to an Airbnb, I always see some weird stuff. And this time I seen a dude riding his cow on a motorcycle. Wow. Wonder where they going. I'm always bored when I rent an Airbnb. So this time I decided to go to the zoo and watch the lady feed the elephants. Wow. You just never know. I mean, just look at that nose.